This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Carr now on first down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Carr now to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And some room to roam now. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Martin now, following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they'll tell their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 16 carries, 67 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. Runs over it. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Kwiatkowski gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They fake the give. Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. Max Crosby in there to drop him in sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Sam Martin now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down and close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The tackle made by Todd Davis. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's the Raiders punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Jameis Winston with 1 touchdown pass thus far. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Newton. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So out come the Raiders. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Carr now on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Let's go! Let's go! So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A first down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Newton now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. The shotgun snap for Newton. And that one's complete to Gurley.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
You got nothing.
They run again with Harris. He's going to have the first down past the 20. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A play there. 94 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working and call more of that.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Down. 185. Here we go. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They go with Jacobs. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of...
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now Carr, throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Throwing his Carr on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, and they go back to Harris. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run with Harris. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Broncos, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.